Hey, this is Chad from Ascension Worship. This week we're presenting a Tech Tuesday Quick Tip.
Hey, what do you say? Yes, it's that time again. It's Tech Tuesday.
Quick Tip!
For this week, we've got a quick tip. We're going to talk about cable management. Ooh, exciting. This might not sound very impressive, but it's really important that you take good care of your cables, because if there's something wrong with the cable, then there's very possibly going to be something wrong with your sound, your lights, or your video. So one of my biggest pet peeves is when you take the time to wrap a cable nicely and then you throw it into a bin with a whole bunch of other cables, and there's nothing securing the cable to itself. So what ends up happening is that when you go to grab that cable next week, you're not grabbing just that cable, you're grabbing the other 30 cables that are attached to it, because they've all become cable spaghetti, and now it's a mess, and you're putting pressure on the cables, and you're wasting time, and just all bad things. So it's really important that you find some sort of way to secure the cable to itself. Now, some people do the whole tie the cable thing where you take the excess and you wrap it through and then you tie a little knot in it. I would rather you do that than do nothing. However, that's not really the best approach if you want to make your cables last a long time. This is a fairly expensive cable that I use in the studio, and I wouldn't do that to that cable. So what you can do is you can go out and you can buy something like this. This is a Velcro tie that I've got. And if you notice, there's a little attachment in the middle here so that it's going to stay attached to the cable even when the cable is unwrapped. You can buy these in like 6-packs, 10-packs, whatever, and they're not crazy expensive, but I'm going to show you the poor man's church budget, really cheap way to make something like this. So I went out to Harbor Freight, and if you don't have Harbor Freight, you can go to Walmart or Amazon, maybe even Home Depot, and this is called hook and loop material. It's not officially Velcro, because Velcro is actually a name brand, so this is the knockoff Velcro, and it's usually prettier than this, but apparently my cat decided it would be fun to sleep on this, so still works, but it's just gross now. But moving on. So really cheap. I think this is under $7 for sure, and this is like 35 feet of hook and loop material. So if you were to take this and just cut yourself off a piece and attach it to the cable, job done. However, what's going to end up happening is that your volunteer team next week, being really excited and going for it, is going to very quickly unwrap this cable and throw this on the ground, and now you've wasted material, you've wasted time, and we're not about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a real quick solution so that this will stay attached to the cable all the time. And it's really easy. All you need is your hook and loop material, a pair of scissors or a knife, but scissors would be the safest way to go. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hook and loop material, and with very careful measurements of the size of your thumb, yeah, we're going real technical today, you're going to hold it at the top, and we're going to take our scissors here, and we're going to cut halfway or slightly more. Let's try not to do any less, but halfway to the middle across here. Doesn't have to be too precise, but at least halfway. So you see, got to cut halfway. Now, again, real technical, we're going to twist this around, put your thumb underneath the cut, and then again about another thumb down, you're going to cut on the opposite side, again, halfway. So now you've got a cut here, and then on the opposite side, a cut here. So what's going to end up happening is your cable is going to go on this thumb size bit in the middle here, and if you have a cable bigger than a standard XLR, you can make that bigger as you see fit. But what you're going to do is you're going to put the cable in between there, and then these pieces are going to wrap, hopefully you can see this, wrap around each other so that the cable's in that little loop there, and then the two cuts are going to overlap So we're going to use our male end here, and the reason why I use the male end is because if you're using this for a microphone, this is the part that's going to plug into the snake and not the back of the mic. So you're not going to have this hanging off of the microphone. It's going to be out in the back with the snake and be much more presentable on stage. So taking the male end, wrap this around, and hopefully you can see on here, see how the two pieces are overlapping. We're going to, as best as we can, overlap that all the way. That's why we cut it halfway. And then you're going to just take the excess here and then wrap that around the cable. So now if you notice, it's on there really well. You'd have to pull really hard and kind of take it apart to remove it. So once you've done that, depending on the size of your cable, you can cut off however much you need. And you've got your cable tied. So now we'll wrap our cable and then wrap that around, and you're good to go. It looks good. It's really thin and small, and it was cheap. It's going to stay attached to the cable. All good things. Church budget. Good to go.
Again, this is Chad from Ascension Worship. I hope this has been helpful for you and your team. Come back here every Tuesday for new information.